Hi there, I'm Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I'm taking us through what I'm calling a fun flying flow. Yes, it's yoga. Come to the top of your space, big toes to touch, heels a little bit apart. I'm going to start standing. Find your Samasthiti, palms face forward. Roll your shoulders forward, up towards your ears, back and down. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and we're going to start to connect with our Ujjayi breath. This breath goes in through our nose and out through our nose, constricting our throat ever so slightly so it almost sounds like the ocean as you exhale. As we begin to connect with our breath, imagine someone has a string on the very tip top of your head and is pulling you even a little bit taller towards the sky, and your feet are rooted solidly into the floor. Begin to let go of the to-do list, the laundry list that runs through your mind, and just be here for this practice today. On your next inhale, arms will come up overhead. Maybe they meet at the top. Maybe you need to bring your gaze up. As we exhale, we'll fold over our legs. No need to have them straight. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Back is nice and flat. Exhale, plant your hands and slowly step back to our first plank. Take as many steps as you need to. You can find this full plank or drop the knees into the modification. We're just going to hold here and breathe. Once again, that Ujjayi breath. And on your next exhale, lower slowly all the way down to the mat. We'll inhale for our first cobra. Exhale, lower. We're going to do 2 more like that. Warming up the back side of our body. Inhale, we lift. Gaze stays down. Maybe lift up a little higher. Exhale, release. Third one, keep it the same, or if you're ready, coming up to an upward facing dog. Shining your heart forward, gaze comes up. And no matter where you are, we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. So flip those toes if you're in the up dog, all the way back, this upside down letter V with your body. Move it slow as we get moving today. Slowly tiptoe your toes up to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings us all the way up. Let's move one breath, one movement. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Using your whole exhale, take it through your chaturanga or all the way down into the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Then we send the hips high, downward facing dog. We're going to go 2 more like that. 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, move your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Using that exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or jump, top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Refold. Inhale brings you all the way up. Take it through one more time, your own pace, your own breath, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Once you find your way into downward facing dog, pedal out your feet. Maybe send your hips side to side or your heels to one side of the mat or the other. Then finding your way into stillness, just for a breath. And then hop, step, or jump all the way to the top of the mat. Listen for the change. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, we refold. Inhale, we find chair. We sink our hips low. Find the balance. Take a peek down and make sure you can see your toes. If you can't, send your hips back a little bit more. And then last but not least, lift your arms to the sky. Chair pose. We hold only this first one, so find your edge, lean into your heels, tuck your tail slightly, and then reach a little bit higher. Energize your arms. Breathe for 3, for 2, and 1, fold it over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it through your flow, or just meet right back in downward facing dog. All these chaturangas are optional. If they become too much, we just meet back in this upside down letter V with our body. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, step it through, making sure your feet are on railroad tracks. So front foot is facing forward, back foot is actually turned out slightly. Come up, hands on hips, and then drag your right hip back, left hip forward, and rebend. Most of our hips will not face square towards the front of your space, and that's okay, but that's what we're going for. Then arms come up. Find your warrior 1. Once again, we hold only the first time through. Maybe gaze up, sink a little bit lower. Then arms come down, around, plant, and take it through your flow. Once you're back in downward facing dog, we inhale left leg high, setting up the same thing on the other side. Left foot straight forward, right foot turned out at an angle. Sink low, pulling your left hip back, right hip forward, tuck your tailbone under, then find that rebend in your front leg. And then if you're ready, arms come up. Warrior 1 on the left. Can you sink a little bit deeper? Can you straighten that back leg a little bit stronger? And then notice your arms. Are they just up there along for the ride? Energize them. One more inhale. We exhale, bring it around. Down and through. Chaturanga. Inhale, shines forward. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, gaze forward. Hop, step, or jump. Feet to hands. Inhale brings us to our flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Inhale, chair, just one breath, so sink as low as you can. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take it back. We're going through one more time with the right and the left. One breath, one movement. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, we fall. Using the whole exhale to the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, rise to your peak. Exhale, we fall. Excellent. Gonna start our fly sequence here. I'm gonna lift my left leg first just because I think I'm close to my wall. Lift your left leg up. Bend your leg. Kicking that heel towards your glute. Keep it here or flip your dog. I'm gonna move it over a little bit. Flip your dog. Reaching hips high, reaching arm long. Maybe letting your head go a little bit. And then we'll flip it right back over if you flipped. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. Right leg lifts, bend the leg. Option, stay here or flip your dog. Reach it up, reach it over, all the way, big stretch. And then fly it right back where we came from. Downward facing dog. Inhale, high on your toes, gazing forward. Exhale, hop, step, or jump, top of our space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Listening for the change. Exhale, revolve it. Twisting chair. So now I'm looking at my left elbow on the outside of my right leg. I'm sitting my hips low, and I'm bringing my hands to prayer to find the twist. Stay here, stay low, or play with side crow. What this looks like is our hands will come down. I'll probably show you from the side actually, because it's a little bit easier. As my hands come down, I keep that bind. I plant my hands, I lift my hips, and then I fly for the arm balance. Now for me, my left leg is on my left elbow. When you're first starting out, you can use the shelf of your right elbow and tilt it forward and have a big shelf for your whole right leg. Try it a couple times, or just stay in the chair, play. We're here for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop it down, forward fold. Roll it up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Step your right foot back and find your crescent. So crescent lunge, very similar to Warrior One, except you're on your back foot, your back heel. Not true, your back toe. Lacking the words this morning. Deep bend through your front leg, tuck your tailbone under. I like to just bend my back knee so I can get that tailbone tuck, and then extend it, and then arms come up. Our flow for this one is going to be crescent, Warrior 3. So find a spot on your wall or your floor, something not moving. Launch off your back leg and find Warrior 3. Just hit your peak, step right back, crescent, inhale, exhale, Warrior 3. Maybe your goal is a capital T with your body. Maybe your goal is to just have the kickstand here. You'll still feel the balance. We have 2 more. In that strong left leg. Excellent. This last one will hold. So find your peak. Flex through your back foot, especially if it's lifted. Tuck this right hip under because it tends to turn out. And then power through those arms. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back to crescent, take it through a flow. Let that left hip get a little stretch. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. So strong. Inhale, high on your toes. Maybe you want to crisscross your feet to stretch out that hip a little bit. I like the way this one feels, especially after that Warrior 3. We'll all meet in that forward fold. Find the halfway lift and refold. 1 vertebrae at a time, we roll all the way up. Let's do the other side. Step your left foot back. Find your crescent. So pinch your railroad tracks, especially now, maybe even widen them a little bit. Then tuck your tailbone under, bending through that back knee if it feels good. Then once you're low, power through that back leg. Lift those arms straight up and find your crescent. Then you know our fly sequence here. We'll inhale crescent, exhale Warrior 3. A fair warning, this is not such my strong leg. Inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior three. Maybe you can use just the kickstand. Find that flat spine. Inhale, warrior three. Sorry, inhale, crescent. Exhale, warrior three. Last two, your own pace. Just keep breathing. Tucking that left hip under. Last warrior three, we hold. Find the balance. Flex to that back foot. You fall out. We smile. We just get right back in. Arms extend back. We hold for 3, 2, 1. Step it back and we flow. Excellent job. Those balance series, these fly sequences, a little challenging. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, we get there. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Sink low. You're here. Find the chair. Deep bend. Hands come to heart center. We'll twist to the left. I'm going to show you to the center. Find the connection. Right arm, left leg. Staying here, finding that twist, or finding side curl on the other side. Planting your hands down, lifting your hips high, either maybe 1 elbow or 2 to find the balance, find the shelf, and maybe you just play with shifting your weight, and that's enough. Or stay in the twist. We're here for 3, for 2, 1, forward fold. Once again, roll it up. 1 vertebrae at a time. If you're not at the front of your mat, head back to it. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step it back to plank. Now this can be modified or full. Focus on your left hand. All your weight moves there. We twist into side plank. The modification is having that knee down. Now the fly in this one is going to be the leg lift. So maybe if you don't usually modify, maybe this is a great one to modify. You can do this one from your feet. I'll invite you to be here, lifting and lowering. Pick your option. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Hold and breathe. Plant your right hand. Switch it over, other side. Of course, option, drop your knee. Left arm reaches. We lift and lower. Hips are still facing the same direction, or we're in a full plank. Lift and lower. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Listen for the change. We're back to plank. Chaturanga optional. I'm sending it right back down. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes high. Exhale, plant it down, turn open, warrior 2. This time, front foot facing forward still. Back one turned out at an angle. Deep bend through this front leg. We're not here long because our flow from this one will be side angle. We're going to extend it. So real long, strong line from your heel up to your hand. And then our fly for this one will be half moon. So peer down in front of you. You're prepping to reach your left hand in front of your left foot. So look down, maybe jump your back foot in a little bit, tip it in. Our flow will be half moon, side angle. Only 3, half moon, side angle. Last half moon. We hold in side angle. So find your depth, find your length, opening up your chest. Then we go warrior two. We reverse, we straighten, and we tip into triangle. Reach it forward as far as you can. Lightly put your back of your hand on your shin. And then like we're smushed in between two panes of glass, we flatten out our body. Inhale brings us tall. All we're gonna do is flip over to the other side. Turn one foot in, turn the other foot out. We find side angle. Extend it, open your chest. And then we're not here long because we're headed into half moon. First one is always a little iffy, right? Maybe you have to step your back foot in a little bit. Reach your right hand out in front of your right foot. Half moon. Reach it back as far as you need to, maybe even a little bit more. Find the open side angle. Half moon. Doesn't need to be graceful. It's meant to be a challenge today for this fun flying flow. Last half moon. We hold in side angle. Find the deepest expression of this pose. Keeping your front leg bent. Warrior two. Reverse it. Straighten that leg. And triangle. Reaching high. Think a picture perfect straight line from the tip top of your fingers down to this hand that's not resting on your leg. It might be gently touching. Use your core to hold yourself up. Then pull yourself up, and we'll find Prasarita, all 10 toes facing the same direction. Maybe even turn them in a little bit. Hands on your hips. Give me a fold forward. Let something go. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Maybe reach for opposite, or reach for your outside of your feet, or hug opposite elbows. And plant your hands on the floor, halfway lift. All you're gonna do is heel toe your feet towards each other and find yourself into Malasana, a squat. So if you're going all the way down, sinking those hands, sinking those hips, pressing those hands to heart center, it may look like this. If this is not in the cards for you, stay tall, stay here. Just forcing those knees out so you get a little bit of inner thigh stretch. We're gonna do one last fly pose here. We're gonna go into traditional crow. So you'll plant your hands in front of you. Once again, I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. Plant your hands, lift your hips, tiptoe those toes in close, and then you're trying to connect your knees to your triceps. Gaze out in front of you, and maybe you just stay here, shift that weight. Maybe you can lift one foot, press it down, lift the other, set it down. Maybe you can tip your weight so far forward, gaze is out in front, that you can fly. We'll play here or hold here just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down, have a seat, both legs out in front. Flex your feet, inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Over straight-ish legs, bend your knees if you need to. Feeling that stretch through your hamstring. Then slowly rolling it all the way down onto your mat for Shavasana. We're not here long. Try not to skip this part. Let your body soak it all in. You've arrived. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe reach your arms overhead as if doing your first good morning stretch of the day. Hug your knees into your chest and roll onto your favorite side, resting your ear on your bicep. Pausing here just for a moment. Then pressing up to seat, keeping your eyes closed if it feels comfortable for you. We'll take one inhale together. Inhale, arms come down, around, and up overhead. Palms pressed together. Exhale those hands right to heart center. And our thumbs move to the space between our eyebrows, our awesome side of intuition, our third eye center. And we'll all bow and say, Namaste. Thanks for joining me in that fun flying flow today. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I hope it wasn't frustrating. With all of these balance things or new things that are doing, you fall out of it, that's okay. Put a smile on your face and try it again. It gets easier and easier the more you practice. I'll see you next time. Go have a great day.